Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesigningtechtips.com. Well, we got a fun one for you today. We got a little call to action module here. It's got a little button that's going to sort of pulse in and out there, giving it a bit of a sense of urgency. If you roll your mouse over it though, it's going to stop animating. They can click on it. You can take them wherever you need to take them. Take your mouse off, it's going to start doing its thing again. Really easy to do. So let's get started. I'm going to enable the visual builder. And we'll go down, we'll start a new section. Little blue button to add a new section. I'm going to make mine a regular section. I'm going to throw two little columns in there. Funnily enough, I'm going to use a call to action module. Great. Just before I do anything else, let's get rid of this section above. Hit the little trash can. Great. So here's our little call to action. Let's just go in there, make it do what we want it to do. Dark tab for the module. Put your title in there. What you want your button to say there, I'm going to leave it on click here. And we've got a WYSIWYG section here where you can write whatever text you need to down under. And you can align, bold, italicize, make bullet lists, etc. and even add media if you want to. Again, I'm going to leave mine just like that. Before the button will actually show up, we need to add a link for it just down below here. Let's just put a little hashtag in there. And as you can see, the button turns up. Fantastic. Always best practice. If you're linking to your own site, leave it in the same window. If you're linking off-site, open it in a new tab. If you want the actual module to link to somewhere else or even the same place, you can put another link in there. Background wise, let's just make this slightly more interesting. I'm going to throw a blue color in there, but I'm also going to throw an image in there. Third tab along is image, and you can mix and match these things. I think that's what I used before. And it's kind of hard to read, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll down a little bit and I'm going to blend that blue that we put in with this picture here. And these got some great filters here, such as luminosity and exclusion. You can get some crazy things going. But the one I'm going to use today is multiply with it. It's just going to multiply the blue with that image. Makes our text an awful lot easier to read up there, at least ways in my opinion. Great, well let's start that one-time offer, make it a little bit more eye-catching. You can use any font you want. I'm going to leave mine on the default today, but Divi does have a load. Audition one, just roll over it. It'll give you an example just like that. But I want to make mine uppercase. I'm going to make it bold. And just if that's not enough, I'm going to make it red. Or even make it a little bit bigger, just like that. Obviously that's entirely up to you. And let's make that button a little more interesting. Still in the design tab. We'll close up the title text, go down to the button here. I'm going to use custom styles for the button. I'm going to leave the text color as white, but the button background itself I'm going to make red. I'm going to pull the opacity down by clicking on the field, pulling the variegated slider down a bit, so you can see a little bit of the image behind it. And also I'm going to give it a red border, so that'll give a nice little contrast there. So if we roll down a little bit more, we've got button border color. But let's have these change color when they hover over it. Really easy to do. Roll up over the dark writing within any module and you'll see some little icons appear. We've got a little arrow there. If we click on it, it's going to give us two tabs. Desktop, we can have one value when the mouse is not on it. And hover, funnily enough, when the mouse is on it, we can have a completely different value. So I'm going to make it green when they hover on it, red when they don't. So we better do the same with this. Go up there. Little arrow, desktop's fine. Want to make it green. And again, I'm going to take the opacity down just a little bit on this so you've got a hint of the picture behind there. Fantastic. Back to the red. Great. Well, let's make the magic happen now. Still in our call to action, I'll just pull this across. I'm going to go over to our advanced, down to custom CSS. We're going to write a bit of CSS for this. And they got this great freeform CSS tab, which allows you to write fairly complex CSS. Now I happen to know the button's got a class name of ET_PB_button. If you're not sure, just go over the module elements here and we've got a few boxes. There's the promo button. You hit the little question mark, it tells you what the class names are. ET_PB button, ET_PB promo button. I'm going to be using the ET_PB button for mine today. Not sure if that'll copy from here or not. But anyway, we can go back up. That's what we want to target. So back to our free form here. I'm going to paste that in there, Control V. Fantastic. And it's a class name, it's got a dot in front of it. We're going to open and close some curly brackets now and tell it what we want it to do. I want it to animate, so I'm going to say animation. We'll give it a name. But BUTFADE for button fade perhaps. Call yours what you want. It wants to be unique. I'm going to have mine running for a long time, 24 seconds. And I'll show you how to speed it up, slow it down later on. And I want it to keep going and going. I don't want it to stop after the 24 seconds, so I'm going to say infinite. Fantastic. Now we've got to create this animation to make this button fade in and out. Let's drop down. We're using keyframes for this today, so I'm going to say at keyframes. Then the name, which was butfade. Then we can open and close some more curly brackets, and inside we can create a timeline of our 24 seconds and have different things happen. So at 0%, or when the page loads, 0%, we'll open some more curly brackets. I'm going to have it invisible, so I'm going to say opacity, colon, 0, which is invisible. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to drop down one. I'm going to say at 25%, which would be start of second 7 of our 24 seconds there. I want it to appear, so I'm going to change the 0 to a 1. I'm going to copy both of those now. I'm going to drop down, paste them in. 75%, want that back to 0, and at 100%, I want it back to 1 again. And as you can see, it started fading in and out over there on the left. Now, like I say, I've got mine going for 24 seconds. If you wanted to have it slower, just make a smaller value up here. For instance, if I put 12 seconds in there, you'll see it fades in and out an awful lot quicker there. But just set it how you want. Let's compromise. Let's call it 16. Anything that's divisible by 4. Great, well that's going to work for me. But of course we want them to be able to click on that button. They can, but it keeps sort of fading out when the mouse is on there. So we want to stop that animation when the mouse goes over the top of it. To do that, let's just copy this from the ET_PB button there to that first curly bracket end. Control C to copy. I'm going to drop down one more. I'm going to paste this in there. Control V to paste. Right after the N of the button there with no gap, I'm going to put a colon and then no gap again and the word hover. And we can create a hover state, something that happens when the mouse cursor goes on it. So after the animation, I'm going to get rid of all this stuff. I'm just going to say none. Great. Well, let's just finish off our little section and make it look a little more dramatic. All I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the section itself. I'm going to give it a background image. I think I used that crazy image before. Gives it a bit of a sense of urgency right there. And let's put a little glow around this little fella right here. We'll go back into the module. Simply going to go down to design and border. And let's give it perhaps a 1 pixel border. I'm going to make it that same blue that we've been using. And we'll give it a little glow. Hitting the box shadow. We'll do that all around. And again, let's use that little blue there. And we're good to go. Let's save our changes now. Make sure this is all going to work on the front end. Hit the little purple button. Save draft or publish if you're ready. And let's exit the visual builder. And there it is, our button slowly fading in there. Remember we changed it to 16. So every 4 seconds or so it's going to cycle in and out like that. Of course when you put your cursor over it, it's going to stop. it's going to turn green and they can do the call to action. Take the mouse off again and the button's back into doing its little cycle. Really easy thing to do, and I'll put that little CSS down below the video just as usual for anybody that just wants to copy and paste it and tweak it and use it how you will. But that's a pretty eye-catching thing to have on your site, and of course that'll work on mobile and tablet also. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget, if you've got any questions, pop them down below the video. I'll do my best to answer them for you or make a little demo video just like this one. So once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.